US-Iran peace talks begin in Switzerland as Hormuz tensions raise global concerns. Welcome to today's episode. A major diplomatic effort is now underway in Switzerland, where senior officials from the United States and Iran have begun a new round of peace talks aimed at reducing tensions and finding a long-term path toward stability in the Middle East. The negotiations come at a critical moment. While both sides have agreed to a temporary ceasefire after months of conflict, new disagreements over the Strait of Hormuz and continuing violence in Lebanon are threatening to complicate the process. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has arrived in Switzerland to lead the American delegation. Iranian negotiators, including several senior government officials, were already in the country ahead of the talks. Diplomats from other nations are also taking part in discussions designed to support the peace process. At the center of international attention is the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important waterways in the world. A significant portion of global oil exports passes through this narrow route every day, making it a key link between energy producers in the Gulf and markets around the world. Iran recently announced measures that it says affect activity in the strait, citing security concerns and regional developments. However, American military officials say commercial shipping continues to move through the area and that international trade has not been completely disrupted. The disagreement highlights one of the major challenges facing negotiators. Even as both sides publicly support diplomacy, there remain sharp differences over security, regional influence, and the future balance of power in the Middle East. Before departing for Switzerland, Vice President Vance said he hopes the talks will produce meaningful progress. According to U.S. officials, the discussions are expected to focus on several key issues, including Iran's nuclear program, regional security arrangements, and mechanisms for maintaining the current ceasefire. Iranian officials, meanwhile, say they want guarantees that future agreements will be respected and implemented. They argue that previous diplomatic efforts often failed because commitments were not fully carried out by all sides. Another important topic is the situation in Lebanon. Although ceasefire efforts have reduced some fighting, reports from the region indicate that tensions remain high. Israel and Hezbollah continue to accuse each other of violations and hostile actions. Israeli leaders have stated that they support efforts to reduce conflict but insist they will continue to respond to any threats against their forces or civilians. Hezbollah, on the other hand, says it will continue resisting what it views as military pressure from Israel. These ongoing tensions create additional pressure on negotiators in Switzerland. Any significant escalation in Lebanon could undermine confidence in the broader peace process and make it more difficult to achieve lasting agreements. Pakistan, which has played a role in encouraging dialogue between Washington and Tehran, is also participating in the discussions. Observers believe that international mediation could be essential in helping both sides bridge remaining differences. Economic issues are also expected to be part of the conversation. Stability in the Middle East is closely tied to global energy markets, and investors around the world are watching developments carefully. Any disruption to oil supplies could affect fuel prices, inflation, and economic growth in many countries. For that reason, the outcome of these talks extends far beyond the region itself. Governments, businesses, and financial markets are all closely monitoring events in Switzerland. Political analysts say the coming days will reveal whether the current ceasefire can evolve into a broader framework for peace. While expectations remain cautious, many see the talks as an opportunity to prevent further conflict and establish new channels of communication between longtime rivals. The road ahead will not be easy. Deep disagreements remain, and years of mistrust cannot be erased overnight. Nevertheless, the fact that both sides are sitting at the negotiating table is being viewed by many observers as a positive step. As the meetings continue, the world will be watching for signs of progress, compromise, and a possible breakthrough that could reshape the future of the Middle East. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis in our next episode.